come forward, come for me. That's what they're telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what they're telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where is she? She's telling me to come forward, come for me. See, I don't know why finally now I just spoke my mind. I know it's long since we spoke sometime, but this thing no play, I go change your mind. Just give me some time, baby, please. Cause I don't have no time to waste. No more back and forth just like Aaliyah. That's all I wanna do right now. Grab it up. Say you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body make a bend up on that reeling. Bad man turn you over like a steering. Well, when me gonna grab it up. Say you know me gonna grab it up. Body to body make a bend up on that reeling. Bad man turn you over like a steering. Well, telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she's telling me to come for me. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let you go. When she telling me to come forward, come for me. That's what she's telling me to come forward. No hesitation when I come forward. I won't let her go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's telling me to come forward, come for me.
It does kill it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system since Luvac left. You don't want to change from the 4-3.
Boom, 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 boom. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hold on. What's going on here, man? I feel like recently, hold on. Let's increase that. 2 seconds, people. Let me slap the light on because seemingly it's not working. Cool. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, people? We are back again on the Jerry James Show for another preview. This time in the form of obviously a game, a New Year's Day game versus Newcastle at Anfield. Big up to everyone in the building. Make sure we are smashing a like. Welcome to the Jerry James Show. It's of course JJ. Make sure, of course, as you enter the stream, you are liking the video. If you're new to the channel, please, please, please subscribe. It does help the channel grow. We are growing again, so that is a massive, massive thank you to you guys. And obviously, thanks to a lot of you guys, obviously, just pushing the channel as well on your end. And yeah, it's an interesting game we've got coming up, man. It's a game that, in recent memory, has been a bit more difficult than it potentially should have been against Newcastle, albeit this is a Newcastle that has now, changed the ownership, is now, signing really, really good quality players and, got into the Champions League last season. So they are still a very, very decent outfit. Of course, Newcastle got knocked out of the Champions League, but I'm still looking at them as a potential threat. If we go back to our last 2 games against them, obviously both being 2-1 score lines. We go back to obviously this season where Nunes put on a finishing clinic in about 10 minutes or so, where he scored 2 identical goals, bottom corner, really saving our bacon after going obviously a man down against Newcastle at St. James's Park. And if we go back before then, the last time we faced Newcastle at home, it required a Carvalho 95th or 98th minute equaliser that cannoned off the roof, obviously off the crossbar and went in. So going to be a very, very, very interesting game. But something that, look, we should look forward to. Liverpool are in a different position. Newcastle aren't necessarily, in the best of forms, but we still got obviously take them seriously or so. So before I get into anything, guys, I'm going to give you a moment to smash up the like. I'm going to get into the comments and then we'll get into the preview. We've got Enderman saying big like and subscribe on the way in, people. That's it. Big up to Enderman. Hope you're doing well. Big up to LFC Aaron in the building. Afternoon to yourself. Big up to Gary Richards in the building. Big up to Keep It Level. We got Honesty in the building. We got Jamie Phillips fresh off his preview, just been watching that. Great work, Jamie, as well. We've got LFCJ in the building and many more on Twitch, which Twitch is popping at the moment. Twitch. And we've got, of course, X as well, as that some people like to call it, Twitter. But yeah, let's get straight into it, man. And you know, when I do my previews, I always have to make sure we get the stats out. So the stats that we're starting with, people, are Liverpool have won their last 5 Premier League games against Newcastle and are unbeaten in 14 against them since a 2-0 loss in December 2015. That's winning 10 and drawing 4. So massive stats. Always a difficult game, but we seemingly, we do come out on top. And if we go back and look at how Liverpool have been in recent years, we've been challenging that right at the top. Newcastle haven't. So it's only in recent years, in the last season or season and a half or so, where they've been able to kind of build on that kind of momentum. Liverpool have won 10 Premier League games against Newcastle, despite conceding the first goal, including a 2-1 win at St. James's Park in the reverse fixture this season. No side has beaten another more, having conceded first in the competition's history. Liverpool have failed to win their first league game in any of the last 3 calendar years, drawing 1 and losing 2, going down 3-1 at Brentford in 2023. However, they're unbeaten in 5 on New Year's Day, winning 4 and drawing 1 since a 1-0 loss to Chelsea in 2005. Guys, take these stats in, because if you're a betting person, you know, a lot of you guys watch me on the Football Terrace. Terry obviously doing the bet MGM situation. If you're betting, if you're looking to go and place any bets, guys, just take these stats in, because they do help a lot, man. They do help a lot. Moving on, Newcastle have won their first league game in just 1 of the last 11 calendar years, drawing 3 and losing 7, winning 1-0 at Stoke in 2018. However, they've never lost against Liverpool on New Year's Day, drawing 0-0 in 1913 before winning 9-2 in 1934 and 1-0 in 2003. So ages and ages ago, we're talking about, light years ago, that Newcastle won against us on obviously New Year's Day. But this is obviously a very historic fixture. We know that already as Liverpool fans. Newcastle have won just last of their 11 Premier League away games, drawing 4 and losing 6, losing each of their last 4 in a row. They last lost more consecutively on the road in January 2020/2021, which was 5. So we know Newcastle are in a bit of a rut. Do you know what I mean? Trippier isn't operating the same, and we're going to get into that. I want you guys discussing that with me. The likes of Guimaraes is starting to, become renowned for being a player that concedes a lot of fouls or gains a lot of yellow cards. We go and look at Joelinton; he's doing okay. They've got, some injuries, obviously, in that team as well. Botman's been out for a sustained period of time. Trippier's been out of form. Burns only come back into the side. So listen, they're not the same team they necessarily were. Of course, Harvey Barnes, a long-term, obviously, injury concern as well for them. Salah's next Premier League goal will be his 150th for Liverpool, making him the 5th player to reach the milestone with a single club in the competition. Harry Kane and Sergio Aguero for obviously Spurs and Man City, alongside Wayne Rooney for United and Thierry Henry for Arsenal, have also reached that obviously milestone for their clubs in the Premier League. He scored in 5 of his 6 appearances against Newcastle at Anfield in the competition. So again, Mo Salah, last game for Liverpool before going to AFCON. Is this the season for him to go, or is this the game for him to get his 150th goal for Liverpool in the Premier League? Anthony Gordon scored Newcastle's goal in their 2-1 defeat to Liverpool in the reverse fixture in August. The last Magpies player to score home and away for the Premier League goals against Liverpool in the same campaign was Alan Shearer. And the last one, guys, Callum Wilson averages a Premier League goal every 135 minutes for Newcastle, while teammate Alexander Isak scores one every 138. Only Andy Cole has a better minutes per goal ratio and rate for the Magpies in the competition. So 2 players that know where the back of the net is. And I think that's something that I definitely want to kind of, keep my head screwed on for and just keep it in my mind. A lot of talk, about players, and I'm getting kind of off topic, but a lot of people talking about, a striker. What team needs a striker? Arsenal need a striker. Tottenham need one. Do they go out and get Solanke? Do they go out and get Ex-Player, Osimhen, Tony? No one really talks about, the likes of Isak, the likes of Callum Wilson, that in terms of ratio, they score a lot of goals, and seemingly are a bit underrated. I don't know whether it's injury concerns. or so, but really, really good players in my opinion. And you know, up front they're not lacking for goals, Newcastle, and that's one thing that they're not. Definitely going to get into what you guys are saying. Keep it level saying, have you got your OnlyFans channel up and running yet, JJ? Every platform is a must. Rah, you're moving a bit mad. Keep it level saying Newcastle ain't scoring past us on Monday. I'm saying 3-0 win. Listen. I definitely hear that. But yeah, just going on and looking at obviously, I'm gonna obviously just search up some Newcastle injury concerns. And some team news, and we can get an idea of what the team's probably going to go with. There we go. Hold on 2 seconds, guys. They always do that. Never do it for thing. My internet's acting up today, man. What's going on? Let's go. Yeah, let's go, team news. There we go. So in regards to obviously absentees for Newcastle, guys, obviously it's a lot of players, man, because obviously they've got the suspended Sandro Tonali, who's going to spend the first 8 months of 2024 serving the remainder of his betting ban. Nick Pope is still out with a shoulder injury. That's obviously a massive blow for them. He's been a real good kind of foundation for their defense and what they were able to go and do last season and at times in the Champions League. Jacob Murphy still out with a shoulder injury also. Harvey Barnes is out, as well as Jamal Lascelles, that's going to be obviously a massive concern because he's had a decent kind of run in the team with the likes of obviously Dan Burn being out, Botman being out as well. However, it seems though he's come back in now. Elliot Anderson is obviously out with a back injury as well. Javi Manquillo is out. Joe Willock is out. Matt Target is out as well. Sean Longstaff is obviously inside, is back in alongside Lewis Miley. Dan Burn is obviously in as well. Livramento back as well. A really interesting kind of team and that they can go. Obviously, Miley's been a massive plus for them. From what I've seen from him, and it's only a couple of games, he's actually been a really good player. I mean, a really young player, but got a lot of presence, carries the ball really well, and played a really nice through ball for Newcastle, I think, in their last game. So that's really interesting, obviously, to go and see what's going on there. In regards to Liverpool, of course, and that's what obviously we want to know as fans. Let me just make sure I get this all correct. What's going on here? There we go. Robbo, of course, is still out. He still needs some more range in his shoulder. He obviously had a massive surgery, so he's not close to team training or whatever. Thiago, obviously, starting fitness, obviously, and starting will be obviously joining team training in January, so he's on the way back. We have an update, but they're not sure as of yet. With Stefan Bajcetic, it's an interesting one because obviously it's to do with growing pains. So Klopp's alluded to the fact that on one day he could be really good to train, on the next day he could be really good to train, and on the third day he'll be out for a week because of these growing pains, and the medical staff won't allow him to go and play. So that's someone that we obviously got to take into mind. Tsimikas, of course, he sustained a broken collarbone in the draw against Arsenal, so he's out and probably out to the end of the season. Joel Matip is out. Obviously, he ruptured his ACL, so that's really unfortunate for him. So he's still a long-term injury, as we know. Ben Doak is out for an injury as well. So really obviously interesting to go and see when we go and look at, for example, our games played. And I think this is what I actually really want to show you guys as well. And this is what I really wanted to go and emphasize. Guys, make sure you are smashing the like. Guys, please make sure we're smashing the like on the show, please. It does help the channel grow. Big up to yourselves. You guys can see this. This is on the actual Liverpool website, so this is going to be very kind of interesting to go and see. We're seeing here, obviously, 19 games played, 39 goals for Liverpool, 37 for Newcastle, so they can find the back of the net. We have 116 shots on target, with obviously having 11 more shots on target than Newcastle. So in actual reality, they're a bit more efficient than us. They've got obviously a shooting accuracy of 51.2%, and we've got a shooting accuracy of 46.2%, which actually indicates the fact that, you know, going forwards, we've actually got a real problem. And Salah going to AFCON is going to be a massive test for the likes of Gakpo, Nunes, Jota, Diaz, because currently Jota's the only one that you can bank on to find the net, and he might be drifting in and out of games, but you know he can finish. You saw it against Burnley. The rest of them, boy, you know, if our midfield's not contributing goals, we're going to really have a problem. And heck, we might even have to go into the transfer market to go and get a forward of some sort. But that's going to be really interesting to go and see. We've obviously Newcastle with a better conversion rate this season, 18.1 to Liverpool to 15.5. We have 27 assists, they have 24 assists. So from an attacking standpoint, really similar. When we go into our defense, I think this is where we do really well. Obviously, we've got 7 clean sheets. However, we've conceded far fewer goals. Right? You know what I mean? 9 less goals, which is obviously really good from a Liverpool perspective. Alisson has been a massive part of that, as well as Virgil van Dijk. But clean sheets really similar. We are facing obviously less shots than Newcastle, which is quite interesting, but conceding less as well. So that's interesting to go and see. I think obviously Newcastle are susceptible to conceding a lot in the game when they lose. In terms of tackles, one very similar again, 192 to 194. Duels run 966 to 949, and then dual success rate, they're edging us there as well. So that's really interesting to go and see. When we look at distribution, here we look at successful passes. We're obviously passing at a much higher rate, and we've got a better passing accuracy as well. I think we dominate games in a better fashion. They cross the ball a lot through the likes of Trippier, Livramento, and we're a team that cross the ball a lot. So it really shows how we've transitioned and what we've had to do this season in regards to our midfielders. They've got a better crossing accuracy as a result. They're dribbling a bit more. I think they're catching teams on transition, or teams that are not sitting back as much as they do against us, and they've got a better dribble rate again. And then we look at discipline. Obviously, they're conceding a lot more fouls, you know, winning 239 fouls. We're conceding a lot of fouls. They've got more yellow cards, and we've had 4 red cards, and we know about our red card situation this season. So that's obviously a massive thing to obviously take into consideration, guys. Going on to Liverpool, though, obviously, we've got 3 Premier League games in the month of January. Of course, in between that, we've got the FA Cup fixture, and I believe a Carabao Cup fixture penciled in that month as well. So it does become a hectic month. But in the Premier League, it's only 3, and it could be obviously 4 when you think about obviously how the weeks go. So we do have a bit more time to rest in this obviously for this fixture. We've actually had a bit more time than Arsenal will have. So Arsenal played before us, obviously, on that game, so they could potentially go ahead of us if they win their game against Fulham. We of course get that extra day, that extra couple of days, if we're being honest, to obviously prepare for this game. So I expect us to go really strong and be really focused for this game. And I know Klopp obviously is going to like the fact that, you know, on a New Year's Day, he's got that 8 p.m. kickoff. So we get to really zero in and focus on that, obviously, fixture. Gonna go and obviously get up the lineup builder, and I think we're going to go from there. But before I do that, I'm going to get into you guys' comments. We're looking at Keep It Level saying, did you catch the Chelsea game? To Aaron, and Aaron saying, yes, mate, they were fortunate in the end. Very fortunate. Big up to LFCJ in the building. We've got Ram Stand in the building. Big up to Ram saying, you go into Anfield. At this moment in time, I'm not getting to Anfield because getting back will be long. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. That means I'll be getting back at like 4 a.m. It's not making a lot of sense. Gary Richards saying Gomez at left back. We definitely have to go and obviously discuss that. Big up to James LSC 86 in the building saying Jota being fit is a blessing. It definitely is. We have Honesty. Big up to Honesty in the building. 2 seconds, guys. Big up to Honesty in the building who's saying, JJ, I remember they scored 9 versus Sheffield United. They did. And we haven't lost to Newcastle since 2015. Yeah, I just read those stats out. So you got there ahead of me. Keep It Level saying, do you reckon Klopp will try Diaz on the right wing as he's been stinky on the left wing, Jay? All teams have sussed him out, wanting to cut in every time onto his right. I mean, I hear it. Do I think Klopp will do that? I'm not too sure, if I'm being deadly honest. But you never know with what Klopp's going to do. But heck, that segues us in really nicely for obviously the team sheet and the team that I think Klopp will go with against Newcastle for game week 20, which obviously is our New Year's Day fixture. Guys, make sure we are smashing a like. Let me have a look at how many likes we're on. That better not be correct. That better not be correct. Let me have a look. All right, cool. We're on. Yeah, that's all right. I'm not too bad. There we go. Keep up the likes, guys. Make sure we're still smashing it if we're coming into the chat. Let's get straight into it, man. In goal, I think we're going to go Alisson. I don't think there's any doubts there. Alisson will actually make his 250th Liverpool Premier League appearance. So if he obviously starts his fixture, which I think he will, so that's obviously a big milestone for him. So congratulations to Alisson. That's a lot of games as our number one as well. At right back, I think we are going to go with Trent Alexander-Arnold. We haven't really got the option of playing Gomez there. I would love to go and see Trent, especially against these teams, getting a run playing in midfield. Anthony Gordon is a player that worries me in those half spaces because he can get at Trent. We saw it in that Newcastle game. However, Trent's been on fire for the majority of this season, and hopefully he can put up obviously a better showing defensively, which he has done in fair this season. As a whole, I'm going with Konate at centre-back. Another player that, you know, has done really well in recent games, been a real solid player. I look at Konate and he's an injury waiting to happen. And I'm definitely going to do a show in it. As I told you guys, it will be a pre-record. But I'm going to discuss kind of the transfer window and kind of signings that I think Liverpool should make, or signings that I would make as a Liverpool fan. And of course, a Liverpool fan because I don't know more than Klopp, as a lot of you guys like to go and say. So, but yeah, look, we've got to play Konate as long as it's fit, and that's the way we've just got to go and play. It's a big game, and I think we need to start, obviously, the season off really strongly. Alongside him, of course, Mr. Captain Fantastic, Virgil van Dijk, skippering the team. I don't need to say much about him. Best defender in the world. At left back, we haven't got a lot of options at all in regards to first team players. Of course, Robbo is still out. Tsimikas is now out for the majority of the season. That's definitely an indication to me that Liverpool need to be able to go and get that left winger, man. Get that left back. Sorry, get that left back in. Robertson is a name that's being touted, which I am a massive fan of. I think he's a really good player. Impressed me in the World Cup last year. Has done really well for Fulham. Has got bundles of energy. Was at Wigan, and actually Milan tried to sign him, and Wigan actually didn't allow him to go and sign. I think he actually done his medical with Milan, so it does kind of show the pedigree he's got as a player. US men's US men's national team member, so really good player. Another name that people are talking about is, of course, Ait-Nouri from Wolves, who going forward is really good. A different style of left back to Robinson. Robinson probably falls alongside the kind of, you know, Robertson type of falls into the kind of Robertson left back type of category, whereas Ait-Nouri fits more into the kind of Tsimikas role. He's a bit more cuter on the ball. You could argue, however, defensively can still get got. So that's still an interesting one, obviously, to look at. And of course, Inacio, that's the big one. The left-sided centre-back, would he be a one that comes in and potentially fits in on that left-hand side? But really interesting to obviously go and see that. In the DM role, it's going to be obviously one man and one man only right now. I know obviously his not his partner, but his rival in that position right now, that has been for Liverpool. McAllister is coming back from injury, is back in training, so he could potentially make the bench against Newcastle on Monday. However, I think we still start with Endo. It's going to be Endo's last game, obviously, for Liverpool before he goes on to the Asian Cup alongside, obviously, Mohamed Salah. So that's obviously a massive minus for Liverpool, especially when he started to hit form, and relying on McAllister now to do all the roles. And if he gets injured or picks up a little knock, we haven't got anyone in that position because Thiago are still not back. Bajcetic isn't being risked because of his issues. We're going to have a problem. So we're going to for me, we have to sign even a body, whether that's in defence, in midfield. That means that we have got adequate cover, whether that means Trent going to centre mid, or, you know, Gomez going to right back, or, you know, getting a full-back to go and play in a certain situation, or getting another left-sided centre-back that can potentially play left-back as well at times, or getting an out-and-out DM. But God knows what we're going to do as a team. I am going to go with Szoboszlai on the right-hand side. I think, look, he's had a rest now. He's, look, pound for pound, probably been our best midfielder, man. But really, 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 obviously, like, he's been our best midfielder, pound for pound, in terms of a signing. Falling off the rails a bit. It seemed like he had the little spur against Newcastle, then had a mediocre game against, obviously, against Arsenal. Burnley was an okay performance from Liverpool as well, dominant performance overall, and I think Szoboszlai slots in straight away. He had a break in that game, so I think he starts that game, and I think Curtis Jones starts as well. I know Gravenberch started that game, didn't really have the same impact that we thought he would have, as he did, in some of the Europa League games. I think we go to that midfield. I think that's our best midfield currently and on form as well. Elliott's an interesting one because I would love to shoehorn Elliott somewhere into this midfield. I'm going to have a look quickly. Would you guys play Elliott instead of Szoboszlai in this game, potentially? Is that what you guys would do? Let me see what this is saying here. My team section is Ali, VVD, Konate, Joe, left back, Trent, right back, midfield, Endo, Curtis Jones, and Szoboszlai. So you've gone with obviously my team. So that's the team I'm probably going to go with. You've got obviously keep it level, agreeing with that back four as well. Honestly saying, I want to see Inacio, Bakayoko, and a left back, either Estupinian or Robertson. Estupinian is going to be a tough one, but that's going to be interesting. Keep it level, saying Inacio will be perfect to rotate with Joey G, so they're going to the back three when Trent inverts. It'll be interesting to go and see. It'll be really, really interesting to see if we go down that route. Yes, that's the midfield. Obviously, I'm going to go with, and then up front, I think I'm going to go Salah for his last game before heading off to the AFCON. Up front, I'm going to go with Diogo Jota, who's been in form, and Darwin Núñez, in the left wing position. I think that position suits him a lot. I think Jota making those runs in, he can always pull across. You could always rotate them if you wanted to, like so. However, I would definitely go with Núñez starting on the left. I think, especially knowing that Trippier is down that side, it may be Livramento, and if so, it'll be Trippier against Salah, which, again, knowing Trippier's form and looking at Trippier this season, he's having a Trent Alexander-Arnold season from last year where, started off really well, but in recent games has just made mistake after mistake after mistake, and Darwin Núñez is someone that can cause him a lot of havoc. So this is the team I'm going in with, just to kind of reiterate. Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Konate, Van Dijk, the two centre-backs, alongside Joe Gomez at left back. We've got Endo in the 6, Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai either side in the 2-8 or the advanced midfield positions, and then a full front line of Mohamed Salah, Núñez on the left, and Diogo Jota up front, or in that false 9 role, however you want to go and look at it. Of course, when we obviously play, it may look like a 4-2-4 at times, and the reason being is when you've got Núñez making it out to in runs, Curtis Jones will be tasked, I think, with keeping the width at times as Joe Gomez advances. And at times it could even be something like this as they invert. And, you have Joe Gomez advancing slightly and having something like this at times, which would be interesting to go and see. Of course, we've spoken about the, obviously, Trent, Szoboszlai and Salah partnership and that trio and how they kind of get in their way. But this might be the kind of look we would see, or obviously, of Liverpool when in possession of the ball. So that's going to be really, really, really interesting, obviously, to go and see. We've got Keep It Level saying starting Jota already, Jay. I think it's too early for him to start. I don't think it is, man. I don't think it is. I think, what's the difference? You can start for, you can play 55 minutes and come off. I think we've got enough rotation in terms of Gakpo. We have Diaz as well that are going to have to go and step up anyway. But I want to really start Jota. I really want to kind of get him in the flow of things. I don't want to have to go and rely on him solely when Salah goes and just bring him into the forward line. Let him get a start. I think he deserves it after his performance. LSC Aaron saying, yeah, he's on the bench. I don't necessarily think so, but you guys might be right. You guys might be right. So, guys, everyone in the chat, guys, make sure we are smashing out. How many likes are we on now? Get us to 30 likes if we can, people. That would be amazing if we can go and do that. Get us to 30 likes. Let me have a look. Now we are on 21. Can we get 9 more likes, guys? Please, please, please. If you're coming in now, make sure you are smashing a like and let me know what you think of, obviously, this lineup as well. That's going to be really, really interesting to go and see. Keep it level saying debruyne is on the bench. Really interesting game, man. debruyne on the bench will be really, really interesting to go and see what's going on. LFC Aaron said he was talking about KDB. Oh, okay. Interesting. I see it. Keep it level, saying, look, I don't think we need an out-and-out left-back anymore. How we play, especially an attack-minded one, makes us unbalanced with the team with the inverted system when Trent goes into midfield. Yeah, but I think we still need someone that can play left-back really, really well, because at times we will still need a left-back. Whether that's in the Europa League, Robertson still looks, a long way out. We've got Tsimikas that's out now for the majority of the season. We still need backup for Robertson or someone to compete with him now. I think Tsimikas gets sold in the summer. I think that he done really well when he came in, but we need some backup, especially with the injury to, obviously, both of those left backs. We know Gomez can be an injury concern. So is Konate at times. We can't just rely on Kwanzaa. And heck, it might be an Asio. Maybe it isn't an Asio, but you guys let me know. Honesty has gone with his team, saying, obviously, Ali, VVD, Konate, Joe, left back, Trent, right back, midfield, Endo, Curtis Jones, and Sobosai with the attack, Salah, Jota, and Darwin Núñez, left wing. Really, same team as me, saying Gakpo, Diaz, and Ryan Gravenberch can come in between the 65th to 75th minute. I definitely agree with that team. I think that team gives us the most kind of ability. Keep it level, saying I would shift Robbo on before Tsimikas. I wouldn't. I don't really like Tsimikas, really, if I'm being honest. I know he's been decent, but he's not my favorite player. Keep it level, saying only because of his age and he's been running to the ground. But that's my point. Imagine I'd rather have Robertson as a backup instead of Tsimikas as a backup. If we're going to go and buy like a top left back, I wouldn't want to see Tsimikas as our starting left back for Liverpool. I don't think he's good enough for that. I think he's good enough as a backup. He's fine. Imagine having Robbo as a backup. That for me elevates the level of the squad for me, undoubtedly. So yeah, and look, that's the team I'm going to go with. The argument some people will have, or not the argument, the predicted lineup for Newcastle. If we go into it, if I just get into this team news, Newcastle's predicted lineup is obviously Dubravka in goal. We've got Trippier at right back with Cher and Botman, and that pairing at the back. Botman obviously coming back from that injury. Burn also coming back from an injury at left back. So it's going to be an interesting battle. Salah versus Dan Burn. Joelinton, Guimaraes, and Miley in midfield with Almiron, Isak up front, and Gordon out on the left wing. Callum Wilson's also a shout as well, but they do like to start Isak, so that's going to be really, really, really interesting to go and see as well. And now getting into obviously that time of the show, it's my score prediction. So this is when, guys, if you're watching this on a repeat as well, let me know your score predictions in the comments, in the live chat, you guys now. Slap your score predictions now. There's a lot of you in the building now, guys. There's almost 30 of you in the building. Make sure you are smashing the like, hitting that, obviously, subscribe button as well, and engaging in the conversation, man. Engaging in that conversation. Let me know your score predictions. I am going to go with a 3-1 win to Liverpool. I think Liverpool managed to run out 3-1 victors. I think Salah will have a really, really good game. Look, that Trippier-Darwin, if Klopp starts Darwin at left wing, that Trippier-Darwin position is going to be really interesting because Darwin works hard and he's got the pace to really trouble Trippier. And get him on the back foot. We don't want Trippier on the front foot because technically he's a really, 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 really good fullback, in my opinion. I think Salah bangs. I think Jota, if he starts, scores a goal as well. I think, however, we do concede in this game. If we can keep a clean sheet, that would be fantastic. But I think, look, Newcastle are a team that can score goals, and I think they will be able to nick a goal from us. We saw Arsenal score. Burnley looked like they could threaten as well at times, and Burnley aren't the best in terms of finishing. Isak, Wilson have really, really good goal-to-game ratio. So for me, we probably do concede. However, I think we've got too much for them. Keep it level, saying 3-0, saying he thinks Salah, Jota, and Jones bag. Jones scoring will really make my day. I think that would be a really, really good New Year's Day gift. We've got Honesty saying 3-0 to Liverpool. I'm saying 3-1. So we're more or less on the same kind of level with that one, man. Definitely. Let me see how many likes are we what are we smashing? What are we on now, guys? Let me see if we got to 30 likes. We're on 21 likes, guys. Can we get to 30 likes, please? Guys, get your obviously score predictions in if you're watching this on a replay and if you're watching this in the live comments now. But yeah, big up to Gary Richards saying Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Gomez, Jones, Endo, Elliott, Jota, Darwin, and Salah. Okay, so you're playing Darwin up front, Jota on the left, Salah on the right, with Elliott in there instead of Szoboszlai. I mean, I wouldn't mind that either. I don't think Szoboszlai's pulled up any trees recently. So that'd be interesting, definitely, to see. We got Endsman saying 4-0, Diaz, Salah, Nunez, Jota. So you're saying all the, like, what, barring Gakpo, all of our forwards are going to come on and score, yeah? Interesting. Wow. All right. Very, very interesting to see. That's a very, very bold prediction. But look, it's start of the new year, so you never know. Keep it level saying only 3 of us engage with you in the chat, and there's 20 in the chat lurking. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. But you guys, that's why you guys are the MVPs. That's why you guys are the MVPs. But look, that's where we're going to end it, people. Big up to everyone, obviously, for tuning in for the preview. Make sure we're smashing a like. If you're watching this on the repeat, please let me know in the comments your score predictions and who you think is going to win. Stay tuned this evening, guys, because at 8 p.m., I will be doing the second episode of Being Klopp. And that's obviously for all the gamers out there. It's where I go and get my career mode game on. And we get, obviously, the next kind of couple games in for Klopp, which obviously in pre-season. So we're still in pre-season, guys. We're going to see if we can sim that and get straight into the Premier League, get into the, obviously, nook and cranny, obviously, of the Premier League season for our FC24 career mode saves. So that's going to be a really interesting one to kind of, you know, just have some fun on a Saturday night where I haven't got too much planned. Make sure you're joining me for that one, people. Yeah, but thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It's been the Jerry James Show, and we are out. Take it easy.